Hey everybody, thank you for stopping and watching this video. I am here starting a new thing. I'm starting a new regular practice of posting things online. I'll be posting on YouTube and on Instagram to start with, probably on Facebook as well. And take a moment to begin with, if you're watching on YouTube, to like and subscribe and hit the little bell, the alert bell there, and that'll get you into the system, and it'll help me out immensely in making this into a thing. If you're watching on Instagram or in another place, please go over to YouTube and subscribe and join that, and you'll have regular videos of me talking about mysterious things, giving readings. Um, you'll see where I'm going. Today, first, I'm just sort of introducing you to my home office here. I'm going to open up a new deck of Palms Oracle, and somebody's going to win that deck. And at the end, I'm going to scry into my crystal ball, literally going to read my crystal ball. So let's get into it. I'm going to jump over here, and the camera will change, and we'll be looking at Palms Oracle, which is my oracle deck for readings and meditations and manifestations and spiritual practice. You actually can see the back of the room here. There, it's very small and you won't see it in detail, but that's a one sheet of Palms Oracle, an uncut sheet of all the cards from the deck. I have a few of those for anyone who's interested. Send me a message. They'll soon be openly available at my website and at Legends Playing Card Company, who are the people who printed them. Great people. I've done a bunch of designs for them as well. My other thing is illustration design. So these cards that I'm about to show you, I did all the drawings. They were all drawn actually. Some of them I did a sketch first, and then I took a photo of the sketch, and then I reworked the sketch digitally. Some of them I literally drew on my iPad. But they're all hand drawn. Some of them took over a week to draw, and there's more than 52 cards. It's a 52 card poker deck built into an oracle deck of my design, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you that process of going through it. We are going to do a reading for everybody with those cards, so stay tuned, and you can have your reading for today or for this week, really. Here we go. So this is Palms Oracle. You can see here, this is just a new deck in its cellophane. There is the pink suits, and if you have one of these, you can look really closely at the suits, and you'll see that these are the symbols for the four elements. So air, water, fire, and earth. And then within them, you can see the actual, like there are on my table here, astrological signs associated with those different elements. For those of you who want a refresher on that as you're giving a reading, like there's Aries, you know Aries is fire if you learn the systems. And also fire is clubs, so clubs is Aries. If you want to add that to your reading, it's a nice little thing to have. On the side it says, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens, is one of my favorite quotes from Carl Jung. I like Carl Jung for introducing the world also to the concept of synchronicity. Synchronicity is those wonderful moments in life where all of a sudden, you're thinking of a person and they call you, or you have a thought of something you want, and then it appears for you as soon as you leave your house. These kind of things happen to me all the time, and the more you tune yourself into them, the more you'll find them happening in your life. I always take the plastic off of the box when I open these because I designed the box so that you'd catch that shine. And I don't know if you'll see it very well here. What do you do? Okay, so you see the reflective surface I had printed on top here, but then on top of the mat, there's the constellation of the Milky Way that wraps around the box. And this is an opalescent foil, so as you hit it in different angles, it goes different colors from purple to yellow to green. Just had a great time designing this box. This box is special too. If you have one of these, the first time you open it, you'll be a little confused as to what you're supposed to do. And I wish I had made a card that explained that to people. Hopefully they watch this video. it's a drawer. So it opens like that, and then it angles down. So you can easily open the deck up out of the box, and you can see that also has that opalescent rainbow ink. That looks nice and mystical. I quite enjoy it. Thanks to Lawrence Sullivan of Legends Playing Card for suggesting using this. I was going to use just silver, and then he said, well, try this out, and I did, and I lit. You can see my my Palm logo there on the bottom and the back of the deck, and this is Third Sight Studio, which is my company for hypnosis and transformation work and readings and most things. The deck is in another wrapper of foil to keep it in good condition for those of you who are like me in a humid climate and want to keep these for a longer period of time. And let's look at the cards. So, the first cards we see here, these are Signifier cards. These are cards for putting into your deck for different uses. So let's say you want to scry, you want to look into the future, you want to see into the unknown, you're going to use the star or the crystal ball card. And this is actually a crystal ball from my own, actually it's that crystal ball. But it's my own, from my own sort of altar setup that I use. And then this is a mirror for self-reflection. And then for manifestation, you have the candle. So if you want to make something happen, you want to focus yourself on something, that's for the candle. If you want to reflect on who you are and look into yourself, that's for the mirror. And if you want to look into the future, this is usually best done for other people, but you can do it for yourself as well. That is the crystal ball. And you'll notice the crystal ball also actually has a candle in it as well, because I believe that when you're looking into the future, you're also focusing on the future you'd like to create. Now, there are extra cards in this deck for the Queen and King of Hearts. This is because when you read for couples, when you read for relationships, you might need two men, you might need two women, you might need two men and a woman. You might need different variations on connections between the people. So I have two man cards and two woman cards, and they're different images of people as well. You'll see when we get to that. I'll just show you now. Go to the other Queen of Hearts. This one is actually based on my uncle, who sort of this deck is dedicated to. He's passed on. Wonderful guy. And this is sort of an imagined person I took from an image I found, but I just kind of liked the sort of introspective quality of her. And this is my sister and her partner. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to put them aside for now. And you guys are going to get a card from this deck. I think it's okay to shuffle the cards however you shuffle cards. Not a big deal. Interesting to know, if you shuffle 7 times in a riffle shuffle, you have sufficiently taken randomness, or you've taken combinations that are going to come together, patterns that are going to exist are going to be gone after 7 times. Anything more than 7 is possibly a pattern of cards that have never existed in the world before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one card that I select from the deck in front of the crystal ball, one card in front of the mirror, and one card in front of the candle. If you're drawn to the fire, that's your fire card. If you're drawn to the mirror, you get the mirror card. If you're drawn to the crystal ball, you get the crystal ball card. I'm going to put one card at each of those. I'm just going to that's the first one there. That's the second one there. And that's the third one there. So decide now, before I turn them over, which card you are going to choose. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to talk to you about what it means. So only pick one, and then you can sort of go forward in the video to see when I point to it and turn it over, or you could kind of wait for that moment. But pick one of the 3 cards now, and I will begin. I'll begin back here with the crystal ball. And there we have the Queen of Hearts. So this can, if you are looking for someone, if you're looking for a relationship, this can be a relationship in your near future. This can be a relationship that's strengthening in your near future. This card is about compassion and taking control of your emotions and directing your love. You are in control and you're in a good place. This is a good love omen. This is a good experience of compassion. And if you're a man who's looking for a woman, this is probably a woman coming to you soon. Same if you're a woman looking for a woman. If you are a woman and that's not your goal, not what you're looking for, this is strengthening your ability to manifest a stronger loving relationship in your life. So expect that to happen and enjoy it. I'm going to jump over here to the other side and we're going to look at the 2 of diamonds. Fabulous. This is a lovely card. It's a mixture of things. It's a motherhood card, and it is a relationship card, and it is a finance card. And the reason it's a finance card is because cowrie shells, which is what these drawings are of, are one of the oldest forms of money in the world, one of the earliest forms of financial interaction. From China to Africa to Native America, many cultures use these shells in particular for trade. And they're also a shell for motherhood, for the shapes that they are. In fact, if you look in the Chinese history of symbols for money and finance, you'll find this sort of gold ingot that looks like it's shaped kind of like a boat, but actually that's modeled after cowrie shells. So this card represents investments in a relationship. So keeping the relationship strong, keeping your investments strong within that relationship, investing yourself in that relationship. It can also represent an investment needed for the growth of a family. So it could be that you are about to have another child or grow your family in some way. 2 is the number for relationships, and diamonds are the suit for material world, earth, finance, these types of things. So expect for strength to come and investments to be important within your family and your relationships in the coming future. And if what you would like to do, because you've picked the manifestation candle, is manifest a stronger financial situation for yourself and your family, this is a great card for that. I would take a screenshot of it and meditate on this as sort of a sigil goal. Allow it to work for you. And finally, the mirror. Ooh, one of my favorite cards. This is a ladder coming out of a kiva. You can look at it just as a ladder, which is a symbol of friendships that help you, friendships that aid you on your journey. So I would expect you meet somebody new soon who's going to help you on whatever it is you're working on. 3 is the number for creation and creating new experiences and new things, building new things in your life. It's a creative number. Hearts are for relationships and connections. It doesn't have to be love. It can be relationships that are friendship based. And this image of this ladder is going into a space that's beneath the ground that I originally saw in Mesa Verde in the West and in the United States, in the Pueblo, which they used to call the Anasazi Native American cliff dwellings. And these are amazing cities carved out of the side of canyons and gorges. And in the Pueblo Indian traditions, each sort of family group has a space like this where they go inside for spiritual practice, for burning sage, for singing rituals with medicine man. It's a beautiful space, and it's one of the earliest spaces that I went into and had this sort of profound feeling of spiritual connection. So I've always kept it with me as a a place to connect with the spirit of the earth and to connect with a spiritual process within your life. So that is another part of this card. Strengthen your own spiritual connection, whatever your belief goes towards. Take some time out of your day and honor that. I hope that this makes for a lovely experience for you today. We're going to switch back to the other camera now. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for joining me. Oh, I almost forgot. In YouTube, if you go to YouTube and subscribe to Stuart Palm, the 7th person who subscribes after I upload this video, and I know that people are watching it, I'll watch for the 7th person. The 7th person will receive this deck. And in fact, I'm going to take a moment now. I'm going to take a moment now. I'm going to sign the back of this. And thank you for being you. And let's do heart. Okay. So the 7th person to subscribe, and if you're already subscribed and you want to get in on this, you can just unsubscribe and subscribe back. It really will work. So the 7th person to subscribe on YouTube will win this deck. And I'm only making it the 7th person because, this is a new venture of doing this regularly for YouTube and building up that world, and also, other worlds here. And in the future, I'll probably make it, like the 100th person or something like that. All right, so I hope that worked out for you guys, and I'll probably post that in itself as its own little self-contained video as well. So I'll make a little intro to that. No, I won't. You just have to watch it as you watch it. I don't know how this is going to work yet. I'm still learning all my programming. I took most of the day today to get the lighting right today, but I'm pretty happy with it now. So what am I going to do now? I am going to scry. I'm going to look at the future. I'm going to see what I get. I'm going to tell you what I get. To do this, I kind of go into a bit of a trance state. I'm going to zone out into the crystal ball and let you know what I find. Now, I can tell you this. I was recently working, if you're in Hong Kong, I do some psychic entertainment at a restaurant called Crown Super Deluxe. And right now, because restaurants are closed at night, but they're going to soon be changing to opening nighttime again. But right now, I'm only there in the afternoons. And somebody was very distraught about the state of things at the beginning of this month. And I told them, listen, I did a little scry earlier, and I know that things are going to change at the end of the month, so you can hold on to that. And they did. We recently had they changed it to 7 days of quarantine if you come to the city, where it used to be 14, and before that it used to be 21. And they're going to be opening up restaurants in the evening again, lots of other things. So that's something to celebrate as well. So let me take a moment here. And I'll try to explain what I'm doing. In a moment. So the first thing I saw was, well, it was a building on fire, and I assume that that is, we're looking at the Ukraine here, we're looking at war and difficulty, and these kinds of things sometimes come through really strong as the first things, but the next thing that I saw was a rainbow. So I think this is a positive outcome. We will soon see a positive outcome, something that will change the tide. Right now I'm sort of asking the Spirit if I can have a date for that. Okay, so something important on April 16th will happen concerning the war in Ukraine. Didn't expect to be talking about that. It's not sort of my area of knowledge, and I don't generally get into political things either, but I do meditate on positive outcomes for when the world has such things going on. Getting doom. Sorry. The next thing I saw was an earthquake, or what I'm seeing as an earthquake in sort of a mountainous place. So I can't be more specific than that. I think this is going to be around the 8th of April, is the feeling I'm getting. I'm seeing very positive changes in the world in terms of traveling opening up. I'm seeing positive changes in terms of nations that didn't used to get together well, or didn't get along very well, changing their ways. And maybe it's a change of power that's causing this. But I was asking for positive images, things that were, well, at least what I would see as good. Those were the first two things that I saw. I keep cutting an image of a cruise ship, but it's a good thing, and I don't know what it means, but there's something very good happens concerning a cruise ship. I think this is in the Caribbean, and it's not near me. It's far away from where I am. It may be someone I know. Something important is going to happen in Australia, but I can't see what it is. All I understand is this is Australian. I think what I'm seeing now, and this will be the last thing I talk about, is some sort of new relationship or change in the world stage with England. I'm not sure what to say about that, but I mean, my first thought was, is this having to do with the connection between the European Union and England? But it's something different. But I think it'll be good. It doesn't have the feeling, when I get something negative like I did in the beginning, they're definitely like, oh, this is trouble. And I don't look at anything as definite trouble, because there's always a positive side. There's always a reason for something to happen that's good, and I always look for that reason. But this one in particular had a positive feel around it. Now, usually when I do this, I don't do this for the greater world. It's much easier to scry for myself or for a particular person. But that is one of the things I do. Finally, I'm going to share one more thing with you guys, which is I have been studying Bhagavad Gita lately. This is a great translation of the Bhagavad Gita. I have no relationship to this publishing company, Nilgiri, or this person, but I highly recommend this if you're on a spiritual quest. If you've not read the Bhagavad Gita, do. And this is my favorite translation that I've been studying. There's also an audio book of this is very good. And I got obsessed with sort of going deep into the study of the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna and you know what he has to say, and it's really in line with a lot of the things that I believe, and how I see the universe and consciousness existing, and so I ordered these as well. This is a Gita deck, and it's really fun. The cards all have passages on them. So this one here, it says pearls on a thread. Know for certain that whatever is found in this creation arises out of a combination of my material and spiritual energies. I am the origin and dissolution of all. There is nothing beyond me. Arjuna. The Gita is a conversation between Krishna, who Arjuna doesn't know is sort of the god of gods. He is the great, the all, we might say. There is nothing beyond me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Nice. So everything is material and spiritual. Everything is one. Thank you for joining me for this half hour, and have a blessed week. I'm going to try to do this as much as I can. I haven't figured out a schedule for it yet, which is kind of my nature, but I will be doing this regularly, and this has been fun. Thank you.